Okay, do we have anything of any interest in here? It looks like there's still a fair amount of Hellvine stuff all over the place. Let's see, wait, you don't control the dogs? I do, but it's very awkward. Okay, let's just rush through here and head for the Was that gone by? Did you really say gone by there? Huh. Weird. Not that weird? Oh, and there it stops. Whatever. Good opportunity for me to do that, I guess. I do want to drop this down. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of those where it's like, I guess I'm so spoiled by video games that it's super easy for me to just skip them. Like, how do I describe this? If I hear a game is, you know, the leadership on a game is like false. I really wish you could actually just lock it, so it's like, I just don't want to... Don't let me put away, like, a handful of these. Like, this is always in my inventory. Same thing with this. Everything else, that'd be kind of nice. Did I name the dogs? Yes. Cat. They're all named Cat. Every single one of them. Except for one of them, who is named Phil. Don't ask me which. They're identical twins. Makes it real difficult to identify. Okay, so we're pretty hungry. We're not cold, though. The new clothes have definitely made a huge difference here. Okay, well, seeing as I'm not getting inundated by dogs, did she finish? I have no idea if she finished the sword. I'm gonna warp back real quick and double check. Because if she finished... Wait, no. We don't need to warp back. I can just check here. Nope, she's still not done with that sword. Dang. Dreading the Diablo Immortal announcement at BlizzCon. They should have just ported Diablo 3 to mobile. Or said, like, hey, I know you guys aren't, like, really looking for a mobile game, or you guys are looking for a Diablo 4 announcement. Well, we're working on it, but we want to make sure it's going to be as good as, you know, it possibly can be, so we don't have anything to show off other than this sweet picture of Deckard Cain's ass. But we are working with this, like, other studio to make, like, a Diablo Immortal edition. And, you know, here's a mobile game. These people have made clones of our games for a while, and we figured instead of them just cloning our formula forever, we'd actually make it an officially licensed thing, seeing as they kind of know what they're doing. And, you know, it'll be on every major platform, blah, blah, blah. I've just been kind of, like, humble about it, because I think the problem with the Diablo Immortal edition, or Diablo Immortal, is that it was so very unapologetic. It was just, you're really ready for, like, a new Diablo game. Well, here's this mobile game, and everybody's like, what? We don't want a mobile game. We want, like, something on our PC and consoles, and they're like, well, who gives a shit about those? And everybody's like, we do. That's literally why we're here. And, like, I get to the fact that the hostile audience was not something that they were ready for, or, like, skilled at dealing with. But, like, man, the moment everything, like, everybody turned on them and started booing, I would have just, like, hammed up and just been like, you know, just wait, you'll see, it'll be fun. but, like, let's move on and just, like, not... Yeah, the phrase, like, do you not all have phones? Like, as a person with a smartphone that could probably play Diablo Immortal, I probably never will. There's, like, a handful of actually really good indie games on phones that I would like to cover someday, but because they're on phones, I just don't want to. Like, okay, someday I will sit down and cover Monument Valley, because Monument Valley is fantastic, and probably one of the best mobile games I've ever played. Mainly because it's one of the 3 mobile games I've ever played. I think the other ones were some weird, like, Zynka action RPG that wasn't terrible. And, like, some other stuff. Like, I could play games on my phone, but it's not comfortable. They're not ergonomic. They don't look good. They don't perform well. It burns the battery, and ultimately, like, I would much rather play something on my Switch. Like, if they had announced Diablo Immortal Switch exclusive, I would have been fine with that. I would have been down if they'd said, hey, you know, we're coming out with Diablo Immortal Edition on all of these things, and mobile. I've been fine with that. But mobile only, nah. Hard pass, I'll skip it.
Let's go!
They did BlizzCon aimed at investors, not everyday investor, people playing the game. That's always something that's bugged me about the games industry recently, I guess. Recently bugged me about the games industry. Because it feels like a lot of the bigger developers really are aiming at investors and burning goodwill. And it seems to work for a number of them. I mean, Call of Duty did the best it has ever done. But it didn't do that much better than any previous one. And they're not really driving new fans. I have bought all of one Call of Duty game in my life, and I played it for about an hour. And I don't think I will ever play another Call of Duty game just because it just does not appeal. You know, if you know, my friends showed up and were like, yo, you want to play some Apex Legends? I'd be like, well, I'm gonna suck at it, but yeah, sure. That at least seems kind of interesting to me. And so far, I haven't heard anything particularly terrible about the development for that game. Are you riding a dog sled on the railroad? You know what? There's a giant trash moon that rains garbage perpetually upon my head. Questioning the dog sled seems like a bit of a miss. But yeah, I figure I feel like a lot of the games industry is going to burn a lot of its fan base over the years before they realize, like, yeah, okay, maybe some of these decisions are getting kind of unpopular. Or it might just lead to the death of, like, AAA as we know it. We just kind of end up with this giant indie scene. And, like, a bunch of AA studios that kind of fold after a couple of years here and there. I don't know. Personally, I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, just because, like, yeah, 90% of the games I play nowadays aren't AAA. And it actually feels really good. And the quote-unquote AAA publishers that I usually, like, work with are actually the AA ones. Or, like, they might kind of count as AAA, but most of the games that come out of them are AA. Vampire, for example, I put in the exact same category as this game. Extremely flawed, kind of terrible combat, though I would say Vampire's combat was significantly better than this one. But, like, inspired all the same. Been grateful to Nintendo. They've tried to be upfront. Yeah, Nintendo's been pretty good. I've liked Sony. Because Sony is definitively kind of doing that thing of like, hey, we're just going to make some games. And they do. Like, Sony and Nintendo have been doing well. Nintendo. Microsoft is a weird, murky mystery for me. In 4 years, Microsoft is either going to be the company that killed Obsidian, or they're going to be the company that made Obsidian shine. I'm really hoping it's the latter, because Obsidian has always been one of those studios with, like, infinite untapped potential. The other one is... there's a couple other ones. Very specifically, Oh shit, is that one of the big guys? That's a crusher over there. It's AAA publisher funding several AA games instead of one or two AAA sequel IPs. Yep. And for me, I like that, actually. I would much rather have a studio that makes 3 or 4... Like, 3 or 4... Damn it! Wow, that threshold is weirdly unforgiving. Are you done? Thank you. Vic is crafting copper sword. Ah! But yeah, I'd much rather have a studio split its budget between like 3 or 4 smaller games than one big game. Always. I don't really care much for the big Ubisoft productions, but I've actually been really appreciating the small amount of like indie titles that they've put out. Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends, Child of Light, Grow Home 2. Like, those games were awesome. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that we didn't, they don't make more of those. I'm sure it's because their profit margins on, like, Assassin's Creed are just, like, so much higher. But, like, those are straight up, like, gems. And it's a bit of a travesty that we don't see more like that. Like, I can't say, I can't state how excited I would be if, who's a good example? Naughty Dog, for example, said, alright, we're gonna make Last of Us 2, and then we're gonna split off into about 6 teams, and each make an indie game over the next year to kind of refresh, get some creative ideas out there that we've been holding on to forever, and you know, just make some neat things for a little while. And then we'll get back to making Uncharted Bazillion. Or maybe something new, actually. I don't know. Because, like, if I heard a studio was doing that as kind of just like a refresher course, or like, you know how I was talking earlier about how a bunch of developers like to effectively finish releasing whatever their game is, and then just, like, bail. Well, not bail. Then immediately just, like, fire a bunch of people. If they actually just said, okay, now you guys that are really tired in super vacation mode, you have 1 year to make an indie game. Go. Split up into teams with your friends or not. You know, some of you could even do solo projects, but just make an indie game and we'll do some kind of, like, big thing about it. I would be so happy. And then, yeah, I'm sure that the developers themselves would probably be a hell of a lot more jazzed about their jobs going back to it. And, you know, some of them might actually just want to make something that's, like, AAA quality and not want to, like, not want to go out of their way for like, an indie project. At which point, yeah, they could probably start on, whatever the next major project is, while everybody else is still kind of just having, like, not fun break time, but something. And I realize there's probably some kind of reason why this won't happen. You know, maybe it's not a good idea. But I can see nothing wrong with it, and I sincerely hope that we do see a day like that. I guess, honestly, with Blizzard, easy example of that is actually how that would work out. Like I was saying, the amount of people that are like, ex-Blizzard dev was making, It Lurks Below. Ex-Blizzard dev starts new studio called Runic Games to make Torchlight instead, and stuff like that. Run. Oh, did I hear Bloodstain's coming out next month? I didn't hear that month. Or, I didn't hear that it was coming out next month. I should probably get on that. Well, I need to make a PAX video. They actually had, like, a, They actually had me, like, visit-ish? I get to talk with, like, a lot of the PR people and stuff. And they sent me a lot of footage to, like, show off. And I've been inundated with dogs, so I haven't bothered with, like, anything. Like, half of my responsibilities. I should get on that sooner than later. Oh, dang it. Did I miss something? Oh, no. I didn't miss something. That's the one thing that's floating in the ether, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that one at all. But, like, for all of those, like, little Blizzard satellites that left Blizzard and made their own game, I feel like some of them probably would have actually stayed if they had a work cycle like that. You know, work on the big game, then work on the small game. Kind of rinse, repeat forever.
Step on it. Steady.
Okay. I realize it's getting super cold, but if I can get these last couple things, we don't have to come back this direction ever.
Soft flakes about to fall. Don't fear my frozen shroud.
Yeah, we're almost done. It does seem like my my improved cape really has made like a massive difference about as far as my ability to be out here for a while goes. Obviously, I'm gonna start freezing very soon. Yeah, we gotta hustle, or I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm just gonna ignore all this stuff.
Do you feel the cold? Death comes quickly without fire.
Go. Let's go.
Well. This guy's just gonna follow me forever.
Furious snow is coming to.
Let's move.
Okay. I think I know where I am. Luckily, the dogs are not hampered by blizzard conditions. And I think this is the camp spot right here. Okay. Take some amount of this. Oh boy. That was like negative 100 something or other. That's a bit much. Let's just do 5 hours. That's better. Vic is too tired and will go rest. Has she not finished my sword yet? Man. Okay. So we're almost done. I've got a little bit more. The last few Ubisoft games have been good. Ghost Recon Wildlands was amazing. Waiting on new Splinter Cells. I know the last couple Assassin's Creeds are pretty good. I think I might try and convince Shell to play them at some point, because I think she would like Origins and Odyssey a lot more than I would. I might like one or the other. Well, butts. Oh wait, no, that's not so bad. Did I have anything else to grab in this area? No. Let's grab the food at the very least, and we'll grab the other things. At least it didn't fall further. That would have been bad. The release date for Bloodstained is June 25th. Cool. Yeah, I will probably sit down and get some promo videos out for some games that are coming out soon. There's one thing that bothers me about the PR industry. They really want me to put out, like, previews, and all I want to do is actually just cover the game and maybe do a review. What? Is there another one? Oh. I guess there's a bunch of these guys. Owie. It looks like I'm actually trapped in here. It's a good thing we didn't take this route up. This would have been worse. I would have been in trouble dealing with these guys and then dealing with that, that boss that was that feeder. Yeah, dealing with feeder after these guys would have been rough.
A mere reorganization. More places for my horde to hide.
Okay, I'm not seeing a whole lot of things left, which is good. Reviews tend to be more positive because they can say we don't know it's in the day one patch, so keep that in mind. It's true. I'm a little bit more honest, but I also... So, I guess the other thing is I refuse to talk about games that aren't good, generally. I will play a game that's kind of, like, middling, like this one. Definitely a little bit more on the middling side, but, like, I like it. I have some frustrations, but, like, overall my experience has been positive. And just say less positive than Forager.
Keep it up.
Okay, so I think there's one or two caches left in this area, but I'm pretty done. So I might come down at some point and grab the rest, or I don't know. And janky isn't bad. The original Dragon Age was janky. I keep falling into that pit every single time. I think I just appreciate it because they tried something. And they didn't succeed fully, but they had an idea, and they did it to the best of their abilities. And yeah, they fell short in places. But I haven't seen a whole lot of other developers do this in a game before. The survival sandbox RPG with a direct story, town management, and some other things. I think really they just bit off more than they could chew. And so, like, points for trying, obviously, but points for trying and not, like, not skimping too much. What about first impressions when games comes out and set in stone after a bunch of patches? You wanna specify, you wanna phrase that a little bit more, right, I don't know. Expound upon that. Let's see if I get stuck in the hole this time. Nope, got close though. But, like, there's a very distinct reason why I'm playing this tonight as opposed to, like, more Days Gone. I like Days Gone, but it didn't do anything new. The only new thing about it is the fact that it's the first biker game I've ever seen that wasn't, like, kind of revolting. 'Cause most biker games are just kind of lame. Or offensive. She still hasn't finished that sword! Okay, so there's still a shit ton of things that I have not actually grabbed here. Man, alright, whatever. I'm gonna warp back to town for a bit, and we'll do the rest. If they'd made this game with all its features and aced all of it, it would have vaulted their studio, I think. Oh, absolutely. Like, this is one of those games where, like, I see the gem in the rough. And I appreciate what that gem is, even if I can't actually experience it. I've ever played Full Throttle. It's a great biker game. No, I haven't. Maybe someday.
Stella and me, we were doing alright. Starting to make plans and shit. Stella wanted to bring more people in. Said that we couldn't survive on our own. But people were our problem. Somebody was stealing our shit. Our fucking shit. Food, medicine. Didn't know who the hell it was. Stella swore up and down she didn't either. They left tracks once. Real obvious ones. I was gonna track them down, beat the shit out of them. Gone for 4 hours looking for them. When I realized... 4. Fucking 4. But Stella... she was already dead when I found her. They fucking... knifed her to shreds. The bastards. Cut up her face. I had a funeral for her. Did it up real nice. Said lots of nice shit. At least Stella's not stuck with me anymore. Maybe she's in a better place.
Dad! Hi!
Okay, so let's take a look at this place. So it actually looks like... Jin is working on the workshop. That's... I'm gonna assign Jin to this. Oh, required skills construction expert. We gotta wait until Jin is happier. So he's actually working in the workshop. I'm actually surprised we had the resources for it. Lumber, copper nails, and salvage. No, actually we do. It's gonna take for freaking ever, but that's okay. How's our resources doing? Actually, we're doing great on firewood. We've practically halved the amount of, we've halved the amount of food and firewood requirement to keep these guys going. Okay. Well, how many of these have second floors? I guess we should just work on upgrades. So second floors are... Whoops. Edit mode. Second floor. Second floor. Can't upgrade the butcher's corner. I'm a little disappointed you can't upgrade those. Okay, we want to do vestibule. And larder. Admittedly, I don't think anybody lives in these huts, but just in case they do. Because, yeah, we've already got 4 functional huts and 2 side ones. Hopefully they slot themselves into the best huts available. Can you assign multiple people? I don't think so. Upgrade Palisade to Rampart, but we need... I'm gonna upgrade the rest of these. We might as well have better walls. Because we've got an attack coming kinda soon. Gonna need some more leather cord, though. Can we? I don't want to do that yet anyway. Because the other thing I might want to consider is having her... What is she working on? My god. Is actually... Oh, she'd need expert metalworking. Because if all I need is iron, I might want to just skip the armor. For 1 tier. You know, I'll have her make the sword, but I don't take that many hits. But, like, if I could find just a couple of iron, and some of this might be iron, or we might have to go up there for iron. I'm not sure. Okay, good. So we've warmed up completely. Just wandering around. We've got plenty of food. Resources are good. Right, we want to go this way. Base building's always been, has become kind of played out, and it's never in depth, and it's always half-baked. Yeah, well, I think the problem is, I think most of us would prefer base building like RimWorld, for example, but most do not actually have, most games just don't have the time to make something that complex. RimWorld or, Dwarf Fortress. And so, yeah, it feels super thin in comparison to what it could be. Personally, yeah, it could use a little bit more depth. Like, a game like this, it bugs me a little bit that we can't, like, dig into the mountain and make, like, better insulated forts. Okay, so replacing it, actually. Seems to, resummon the dogs. That's good, at least. Because the dogs disappear whenever I warp home.
Push on!
Yeah, there's apparently 3 ways up this mountain. Ooh, that got steep. Looks like there's some badniks down there. Can I do this? No. I might just go past. I want to play some more games that have, like, really in-depth base building and automation and stuff. Like, someday I want to play Fortress Craft Evolved. If I remember right, there was actually... Oh, dang it. Come on. You've been haunting me all day.
Move on!
And that was the only piece of trash he threw. But yeah, I know the Fortress Craft Evolved developer was actually tweeting about potentially trying to get me to play it at some point. It was weird, too. He was like, I think it was this, like, weird self-deprecating thing where he's like, you know, I wish I could get people like Wanderbots to play my game. I don't think I've responded. I should have. But, like, I straight up... I try and play every game that ends up in my inbox. I can't. Like, it's a straight up impossibility. But I give it a pretty honest effort. Oh, that's a one-off scripted. Oh, okay. It was just very odd. It's like, it really... The main problem is finishing games. I've given up finishing a lot of games at this point. I used to follow kind of like the mentality of like finish everything. And I don't think I can do that, and I don't think I want to do that. Wow. We just tips. There's one. There's a lot of bad games out there. Oh, we are going the wrong direction. And I'm just going to bring the sled down a smidge. It looks like we got several things down below that I've missed. There's a lot of bad games that, like, it's worth playing them for a couple episodes, but then after that, not so much so.
Run! Faster!
Let's see. Thank you, Shell. It was getting dark in here. Like, I played a game called Trials of Fire lately that was... It was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was like an okay game. And I played about 3 episodes of that. And lost. But, like, that was good enough. I don't think I really feel inspired to play any more than that. Ever play Forts, the base building team one? We played that as a group years ago. No connection, Shell? Sorry. Why are these things still here, by the way? Yeah, it's, Shell's on the opposite end of the house from the router, and our router is kind of finicky. It's fine. Well, yeah, that's because you're far away. Yeah, so our router just has bad connection for this room. Which means, like, if I want to download a game, it's going to take forever. Yeah, so we need to move the router. Unfortunately, we have to go get, like, a 25-foot cable. Those can be kind of pricey unless I order them from Amazon. And I forgot to do so yesterday. I should have. My sword, it's done!
Keep it up. Kick it up.
Okay. Do we attempt to fight? No.
Pike.
What? No! Balls! Well, at least he's stuck. But this puts me in kind of the awkward position of now I have to walk. Yeah, because they won't go on corrupted ground. If corrupted ground moves over them, they just immediately like, no! Dang. Alright, well, it's gonna take me a little bit to run up this, but I guess we will. I guess we're just gonna warp to a different location. I mean, honestly, we're more or less done with this area. The only, there's like a couple of resources on one side that I haven't done yet, but we can get that later. Smart dogs. Eh. I mildly disagree. Like, I was just hoping I could have, like, a really rad, like, chase sequence where I hop on the dogs and bail before it's, like, before it catches me. But no, the dogs are just like, no. Thanks, dogs. And yeah, I know there's supposed to be a raid on my town soon. That's why I'm running back up to the teleportation crystal as opposed to trying to fight that thing. So I legitimately would like to fight it. I don't remember the fast way up. I said there might only be 5 hours left in this game. I think I've spent the vast majority of 5 hours in this small zone. I gotta give them credit. They've figured out how to pace the game out really well. I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that my character sucks at combat. On the plus side, the walls are done. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to Fade to Silence, or not Fade to Silence. I'm playing Fade to Silence. I don't think I'm getting to Rise of Industry tonight. I think I might actually finish this attack up, and we'll go play some Phoenix Wright. I'll do Rise of Industry tomorrow. I really want to finish this game or die, so I can just start cheating flagrantly to catch back up to where I am. Okay, well, let's at least go fetch my sword, which is nice. Let's see, you haven't died yet? I've died once. Oh, somebody's stuck in the world. You bother me a little bit. Anyway, we are under attack. But she is too busy just hanging out there doing whatever the hell that is. they actually hitting it?
You're improving. Fucking destroyed.
That it? I don't think I see anything else. Huh. Does the gate just kind of auto-repair? I have no idea. Game gets kind of murky sometimes. Also bugs me that there's just literally stashes everywhere. Can a kind moderator please make a command about Kenshi? I'm actually getting kind of sick of it. Oh, Tua's done processing tainted wood. We're gonna go work on the larder. How much firewood do we have? We've got 3 days worth. That should be good enough, at least for a while. Seeing as we don't have the command yet. I would very much like to play Kenshi at some point. But time is not my friend. So I haven't played Kenshi yet. Someday. What is June up to? Or not June, Jin. I have no idea what Jin's up to. Oh, you know what? We need stairs for the let's see, add-ons. Not sure if I'm going to be able to fit more than that. But that's okay. That'll give me at least a little bit of stairs. It keeps implying that we're under attack. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea what we're under attack by. Oh, there it is. Well, I don't think I could have done much about that one. Or even understood where it was. So, well, I guess that worked out. I just didn't have to do jack diddly nonsense about it. Okay, so obviously still a couple of resources over there, a couple of things over here. And then honestly at that point we clear this area, maybe grab a number of the gathering locations, because I'm looking at this. No, we actually still have quite a lot of mining and food locations. I guess I haven't been letting my guys gather that much. I wouldn't mind playing Gotta Catch 'Em All with that. And then this area looks, I'm going to say decidedly less complicated than the previous one, and I realize that that might not be true, but it looks like there's significantly less roads out here, and then this looks like whatever the end of the game is. So, maybe one more night of this, and we might actually be done. Which would certainly be nice. I was kind of hoping that I'd maybe get the chance to die and start over with all those permanent blessings. But honestly, the more I look at them, the more I realize just how kind of bleh they are. Like, okay, sure, you get less cold. Food fills you better. You move faster? I'm not even sure what quickening shards are. It might be more stamina, it might make you move faster. I have no concept of it. Next area, more chances to die, definitely. Okay, that's fair. I'm assuming there's a lot more, like, biggins to wreck my face. Oh, did we ever finish the healing hut? Or is that still in progress? Yep, still in progress. 'Cause that seems like the kind of thing that might actually help out. I don't know.